Hello and welcome to Electric Bike Report. My name is Pete and this is the Populo Lift version 2. This is a nice easygoing e-bike that has a really low step-through area. It makes it very easy to get on and off this bike, and has a lot of really other interesting features which we'll go into here in a minute. This bike retails for $13.99, and this is an overview video, so you'll see a lot of the details and information, but the rest of the review is at electricbikereport.com. That includes the ride characteristics, range test results, pros, cons, and overall thoughts. So with that, let's take a look at some of the details. So let's take a closer look at the frame. This is a 6061 aluminum frame, and they're using hydroform tubing to create these really swooping down tube here to give you the really low step through area. There's about 16 inches from the ground to that tube right there, and that's like a reinforcing tube that provides some additional strength to that down tube. And you'll also notice things like the internal cable routing on the down tube, and pretty nice solid connection to the head tube. You can see that they've done some smooth welds right there, kind of smooth those out to provide a nice cohesive look so that the frame tubes really blend together well. Kind of the same thing here on the seat tube with the seat stays coming in there. You can also see the internal cable routing on the back of the seat tube. Just a nice way to protect the cables and also just kind of give the frame or the bike a nice clean overall look. And you can see this chain guard here, really nice full coverage to keep your pant legs clean. So take a look at the front of the bike. This is the Sun Tour Next suspension fork. Offers about 2.5 inches of suspension travel, and really helps to take the edge off of some of the rough roads. Here's a closer look at the 250 watt geared rear hub motor. It has a pretty compact size, and it kind of hides behind the cog set there, so it's hard to tell that this is an electric bike unless you look really closely. This motor will power the Lift V2 up to 20 miles per hour, has pedal assist and a throttle option, which we'll cover in a little bit, but that makes this a Class 2 electric bike. So here's a closer look at the 36 volt 8.7 amp hour lithium battery pack. This uses Samsung cells, and it's housed right below the top of the rack here. So you can still use the rack for bags and baskets on the top and the sides of the rack. And so it's just very versatile system here. On the side of the battery, you've got the on-off switch right here. This is the charging port, so you can charge the battery while it's on the bike, or it can also be charged when it's been removed from the rear rack. This is the battery level indicator right here. You just push that button to see the charge. But overall, it's pretty discreetly housed in the rear rack there. Okay, so to remove the battery pack, it's pretty easy. Just unlock it from the rack with one of the supplied keys. There's 2 of them that are supplied with the bike. And then the battery just slides off the back like this. And here's the battery itself, the on-off switch, the charge port with the rubber cover there, and then the connection to the bike itself. And then reinstalling it, it's pretty easy. Just like that, and then turn the key, and you're good to go. So here's a look at the battery removed from the bike and the charger here. The charger is about the size of a laptop charger. It takes about 4 to 6 hours to fully charge an empty battery pack. You can see the connection point there on the side of the battery and the charge level indicator. You can also charge the battery on the bike if you want to. Here's a look at the drivetrain of the Lift V2. This is the wide platform pedal with a nice grippy surface, full coverage chain guard, and coming back here we've got the Shimano tourney rear derailleur. This shifts through the 7-speed Shimano cog set that has a 14-tooth to 28-tooth range. Here's a look at the mechanical disc brakes that are spec'd both on the back and the front of the bike. These have 160mm rotors, and the calipers will actually be a little bit different on the production bikes. This is a pre-production bike, and the production bike will have the Radius ROM 6.0 calipers, but the rotors will still be 160mm. Okay, so let's take a look at the handlebars here. So first of all, the handlebars themselves have a nice swept back profile for a pretty comfortable ride. They also have these ergonomic grips that provide a pretty good amount of wrist support with this additional piece back here. The stem can be adjusted, the angle can be adjusted up or down to give you a little more upright or maybe further down performance style riding position. On the left of the handlebar here, you've got the Tektro brake lever, and these have switches that will stop the electric assist if you grab the brake lever. There's also the bell, which is built into the brake lever right there. Pretty cool. And then you've got a throttle right here, and you've also got pedal assist levels. So we'll talk about that here in a sec. That's the display and control pad. Over here on the left side, this is the Revo Shimano shifter. So this shifts through the 7 speeds. Again, that ergonomic grip, the rear brake lever with the brake sensor switches. So coming back over here, this is the display here, and shows information like your battery level, current speed, your odometer. You can cycle through and get information on the different speeds and the trip distance. And then over here, this is your assist level, and you can change that by going with the plus. There's 9 different levels of assist, and then using the minus, you can go down in the assist levels. And this is a cadence sensor based pedal assist system. So you have the option of the pedal assist and or the throttle. So the throttle will kick in once you start pedaling just a little bit. So that's actually a safety feature, so you don't accidentally grab the throttle and the bike takes off on you. There's also a backlight feature for this that also turns on the front headlight that runs off of the e-bike battery. So all in all, a pretty nice system. It's pretty large and easy to read, and just a nice overall setup on the handlebar area here. Here's a closer look at the Velo saddle. Has a medium width profile to it, and also comes with the suspension seat post, which with the suspension fork really helps to smooth out the ride over rough roads for the Lift V2. So here's a closer look at the CST tires. These are 700 by 38. They're really smooth tread pattern with some channels to help dissipate water. They also have a nice reflective sidewall for being visible out in the low light conditions. So the Lift V2 comes with a full assortment of accessories. First of all, you got the front headlight that runs off of the e-bike battery, the full coverage front fender, same thing on the back, full coverage rear fender, the rear rack where the battery is, the full coverage chain guard there, and coming up to the handlebar area, you've got the bell that's built into the brake lever, and then the kickstand down there. Alright, so that is the overview of the Populo Lift version 2. Make sure you check out the full review at electricbikereport.com, and that includes a bunch of detailed pictures, specifications, ride characteristics, range test results, pros, cons, and overall thoughts, all at electricbikereport.com.